Howdy, howdy, hools. I'm Daryl. This is my lovely co-host, Brianna, and welcome back to Spicy Reddit Stories. What are we doing this week, Brianna Kiss?
Oh, you already know, brother. We're doing some more Am I the Weenie?
I wish I had an air horn in my hand. Just like shoot it into the microphone.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of a story, and then I just cuts to my camera just slowly creeping up. Your mid-sentence just...
That was a crazy air horn sound. So, I'm a big fan of Weenie. I think this is my, one of my favorites, like, subreddits that we do for Spicy.
It's become one of my favorites, too.
I'm excited to do some more.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. All right, this first post is posted by user VividWorth8581. Am I the weenie for being pissed that my daughter-in-law won't accommodate my allergies, so I am not going to her dinner?
T?
I'm very, very frustrated. My son has been married to my daughter-in-law for 3 years now. I have always made extra dishes that didn't include meat to accommodate her. No matter how much it was a pain to do, I always made sure she had options to eat when I hosted or when she was over. She's vegetarian and at one point tried to go vegan. My son and her never hosted due to living in a small apartment, but that changed since they have just bought a home. They're having a dinner this week, and I called her to remind her that I'm allergic to nuts. Do you see why I picked this one? For those of you that don't know, Briannicus is how allergic on a scale of 1 to dead?
In the ground. like decomposing.
She then informed me that she doesn't have time and to bring my own food. She told me that she cooks a lot with different nuts and she can't make adjustments to her menu. Bullshit. That's
bullshit. There's so many things you can make without nuts.
Yeah, you just don't want to do it.
That's
because
crazy.
I'm sure that there's just they definitely don't get along for sure. That's sure.
That's crazy.
This is where I might be a jerk. I told her I will not be going and neither will my husband. That I have accommodated her for years and not once have I made her bring her own food. This started an argument where she thinks that I am the one being unreasonable. My husband is on my side, but my son and her are very upset. What are your thoughts so far?
I think the daughter-in-law is being very fucking shitty. To put my own feelings aside about allergies.
As unbiased as a peanut allergy
as I am.
could be. Yeah.
I think it's shitty because the mom has said that she has included meals without meat and like has, done shit for her because she doesn't have, or she has a particular food diversion thing. No, not diversion, aversion thing. Yeah.
She's vegetarian or whatnot.
And then tried to go vegan, whatever. And she completely accommodated that. So it's like, why this one time that you actually host, you're like, I'm going to have things that you're allergic to, actually.
Yeah, these, God, sometimes some vegans and some vegetarians, some, saying a small section of vegans and vegetarians are insufferable.
There are definitely some, like, I feel like, just like in any group of people, there's always some that give you a bad name. But yeah, I think it's very shitty and hypocritical that she expects her needs to be accommodated, but not do the bare minimum for her mother-in-law.
So I'm casting my vote as not the weenie.
No.
100% not the weenie.
No, I don't think she's the weenie as well.
Edit. Stop downvoting people who say there are allergies that are not life-threatening. They're correct. My allergy is not life-threatening. If it was going to kill me, I wouldn't be okay with any of the dishes having nuts. I just asked for one that I can eat. I can be at a table with nuts. It's fine. This actually personally annoys me. Allergic reactions are a spectrum from very mild to kill you. Also, for everyone saying allergies get worse every time people have it are incorrect. Some allergies can be improved through exposure therapy, which is usually done at doctors. My daughter has literally done that with her shellfish allergy.
That part, yes and no. Because allergies can definitely get worse the more you have it. I've been around many people that has happened to. But I think if you're going to do that whole exposure therapy, you definitely need to do it with a doctor present because you can't just go and
Yeah, you can't do
can't do that
an
shit on your own and be like,
at home seafood kit.
like ugh. My mom is a menace and she has done that before because, you know, she has a shellfish allergy, but she used to not be allergic. And it just kind of developed over time. And this hoe would just pop a Benadryl after eating some shrimp. And I'm like, Queen, you're literally going to fucking die. Can we not do this?
You're out of your mom.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? Please don't do that.
Oh God, she doesn't do that anymore, does she?
No. It's been very, very long time. But like
very, very long time. It was last week.
The last time she did it, we had to take her to the hospital. I'm like, God damn it. Such a menace. Anyway.
She has an at-home kit. It's a little plastic case. Opens it. There's like maybe 1 or 2 pieces of just... I think to imagine that they're just from a cocktail shrimp platter just in there. And then there's a scallop. And then there's a clam. And then there...
Yeah, she loves scallops. She's so sad that she can't have them anymore.
Man, scallops are great.
They look good. They look really good.
Good, yeah. Unless you fuck them up on Hell's Kitchen, and then those look...
Yeah, then Gordon fucking reams you a new one.
Can we get Gordon Ramsay on the show? Are we big enough yet?
Absolutely.
Man. Yeah, so I'm gonna say not the weenie. It's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daughter-in-law's the weenie.
All right. This next post is posted by Sarah Marie 0. Am I the weenie for reminding my parents that my stepsister ruined our family's future? I grew up in a big blended family where we all consider ourselves siblings, and I consider my stepmom my mom. All of us kids are close, except for one, my stepsister, Liana. Fake name. My parents think it's just because she didn't grow up with the rest of us, but that it's fine, and it's not. Yes, by the time she came to live with us, she was almost 18, but it's not because of that. It's because she cussed the rest of us our futures. I say cussed.
She cussed the rest of us our futures.
That stupid Liana. It's because she cost the rest of us our futures. See, when she came to live with us, she had been, quote-unquote, independently homeschooled. She was said to be very smart, but testing revealed that she had only about a 9th grade education and no transferable credits. Neither our school or the public school were willing to place her above 9th grade. Since she was only a month from turning 18, this would mean she would be in high school until her 21st birthday and would more likely than not have to drop out anyway. The only other option was to get her GED.
Ooh, the GED.
Not the GED.
The horror.
They were devastated, especially because she had an offer from family friends to get her into and through college if she did a specific program that she did have advanced education in. If she didn't graduate that year, they would question how bad it was and likely rescind the offer. The only other option was for her to get a GED, which would force the family friend to rescind the offer if they still wanted to help because she could never get accepted with a GED.
What? That's stupid.
That's very stupid. My parents worried over this until someone they knew who was the admin of another private school offered to help out. They offered to enroll her as a senior and she could spend the year, quote-unquote, catching up, provided they saw it in their hearts to give a donation. Of course, 100,000 later, she, quote-unquote, graduated from an accredited high school and moved on to college. My family is just normal middle class, so paying that meant the rest of us had to take out massive student loans, and my youngest siblings even had to switch to public school. My older brother got some help before this, but there wasn't a dime for the rest of us. My parents justify it by saying that they had to do it because it was their job to give all of their kids as close to an equal start to their lives as possible, and this was the only option to do that for her. My mom asked why we all have strained relationships with Liana, and it finally came out that, truthfully, we resent her for the huge financial load on us and the entire family that... My mom asked why we all have strained... My God, what the fuck?
Got it. It's the last paragraph.
I know.
You got it.
I don't even remember the story at this point.
All of your focus has been on reading.
My mom asked why we all have strained...
Oh my god, that sounded so defeated.
My mom asked why we all have strained relationships with Liana, and it finally came out that, truthfully, we resent her for the huge financial load on us and the entire family that she caused. It's been 10 years, and she's never even tried to apologize or make amends, and it's grating. Now, my father says that mom has fallen into a depression because nobody but Liana loves her, and that we weren't a family despite everything she's ever done. We are a family, just not with Liana. Are we really in the wrong?
It sucks that, like, all the other kids had to suffer because of, you know, something that their parents did, and that's to homeschool Liana for no reason and send, like, all the other kids to public school and, like, different schools, like an actual school. So that's odd. And basically because of their doing, they fucked over Liana and then, in turn, fucked over their other kids. But I don't think it's Liana's fault necessarily.
I don't think so either. I mean, it's not her fault that she had to go, like, live with you guys and come into that,
like, that's
so
circle. Random that she lived with them when she became 18 or was, like, almost 18. Like, where was she the other 17 years? Like,
I don't know.
Like, that's crazy. Like, did they send her to, like, a home with other children? Like, one of those, like, orphanages? But, like, with people with parents? So it's like, what?
Okay, so the top comment here, you're the weenie. I kept waiting for the point in the story where Liana did something terrible to you and your siblings to make you hate her. That point never came. Someone clearly did Liana very wrong by homeschooling her rather than sending her to a real school, and it's really sad that your parents had to stump up so much money to rectify this damage. You said she graduated and moved on to college, so clearly she didn't piss away the money your parents spent on her. I can understand how it feels unfair that this money was spent on her and you didn't get it, but realistically, all that it did was get her to the same place that you got anyway without it. That is a high school diploma. They didn't pay for her college. Finally, it doesn't sound like your future has been destroyed because you went to college too, and if you really had massive loans, then your small share of that 100,000 would have barely made a dent.
Yeah.
Your resentment dripped from your post and is entirely misplaced. Grow up.
Yeah. Like, that might have been a little aggressive, but
yeah. Grow up.
Grow up. Like, oh, damn. Okay.
If someone looked me in the eyes and said grow up, we might have to throw we might have to throw
one hand. But yeah, I don't think OP is the asshole, and I don't think the sister is an asshole. I really think the parents are the asshole.
The what?
The parents.
They're what?
The parents. Oh, I don't think that OP is a weenie, and I don't think the sister is a weenie. But you know who I do think is the weenie? The parents.
And OP. I think OP is an asshole.
I don't think OP is a weenie. Because they kind of got fucked over too. But it was the parents that fucked them over, not the sister. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember I don't.
So let's move on. My first story.
I'm so ready to just sit back and listen.
My first story is posted by user Rebel Elon. Am I the weenie for preemptively striking against splitting the bill at a group dinner? Title says it all, but here's the story. I was invited to a group dinner and decided to go. I usually decline because two couples in this group are freeloaders and the split the check type. They order expensive items on the menu, appetizers, and cocktails, while I get a moderately priced dish and a Coke. I was told they wouldn't be there this time, and that's why I decided to go. Well, they were there. I didn't bother asking what the story was because it didn't matter. I knew what was going to happen come check time. So I excused myself, went to flag down my server, and asked if he would please separate my bill from the others. He agreed. When the time came to pay the bill, I handed the server my credit card and paid the bill. Or paid my bill. I tipped 25%. The freeloaders went, "Oh, I thought we were splitting like we always do." To which I said, "Oh, well, you're bad." But this prompted two other people in the group to ask for separate checks too, which the server happily did. After I paid, I told everyone good night and went on my way. The next day, I got a text from another person in the group, 9 total, the 2 freeloading couples and 5 solos, that I was a weenie for doing that. They do normally split the bill as it gives everyone a chance to have a nice meal they couldn't otherwise afford. And it also makes splitting the 20% group gratuity easier. I told her I would not be guilted to staying within my means and not paying for moochers. Then I said the only reason why I came was because I thought the mooch couples wouldn't be there, because they've been doing this for years. Still, I'm being accused of disrupting the group vibe. Did I? I would think not, because of the 2 that also asked for separate bills. What are your thoughts so far?
Like, the disrupting the group vibe, like, I understand staying neutral or just staying silent for the sake of keeping the peace, but I know sometimes you have to call people out.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you can't afford it, like, or if it's getting like to a decent amount or like significantly more than what you got for yourself. Like, that's gonna be a little weird.
This is obnoxious.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I would seethe.
Yeah, no, I'd be like,
that
what?
Table.
Like,
it's like, who said that they could come?
No, like, usually, like, every time I've gone out with a group, like, beforehand, we usually say, "Oh, we're gonna split the bill. We're gonna split up like what each person got," you know. And then they usually, like, you know, they'll like come around and be like, "What did you order?" Like, and we'll tell them what we got, and then they just have it's little separate bills. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty easy to do. You just have to communicate, so it's not annoying or like just sprung up on them after.
I don't always split the bill, but if I do, I try to also read the vibes of the restaurant, you know, because I know that
vibes
sometimes,
of the restaurant.
Because sometimes splitting a check can be a little bit of a pain in the ass.
I feel like it really is when you don't tell them and you just kind of tell them when they want the bill right then and there, and then it takes time to do. But I feel like if you let them know, like, before everything, then they're like, okay, like, these 2 people are together, this person's solo, this whatever.
You're doing it right, bestie. You're doing it.
Like, I try to make it as easy as possible as I can, because I know it's a bitch, and especially having to deal with that many people, it's already stressful. So
when everyone's done, do you stack plates?
I do. I try to like conserve all the space, and like so they don't have to like reach over and shit and like struggle.
I was a waiter for my first job, and I don't know, I loved it when people did that.
Yeah.
It was very, very, very limited amount of times that happened. But I don't know how. I mean, I think there are waiters and waitresses out there that don't like that for some reason. I don't know.
I hope I'd never annoyed a waiter just like doing that. Be like, I wanted to stack it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I don't even know if it's just like I wanted to stack it. But I don't know. Maybe like, are there any waiters that watch this and
let us know
not
if that's
a fan
good.
of people that do that?
If that's good to do.
We're not gonna fight you about it. We just want to see.
We just. Am I helping?
I just want to know.
Okay, so there's a small little update. Update. I forwarded the text to the 2 people who asked for separate bills. They both were upset by the text and reassured me that I was not the weenie. They said they too were growing tired of the moochers and wished they stood up for themselves sooner. Then one of them said that the group vibe was disrupted when I first stopped coming. Everyone knew why, so it made the mooching the elephant in the room, and his bad for not addressing it out of his need to get along. The other agreed, and then they both said they missed having me there. That made me feel so good. The 3 of us then reached out to the solo member who didn't ask for a separate check. This person is also the organizer. The first thing she did was apologize to me for poor communication. She said they changed their minds about not coming in plenty of times to inform me, but she really wanted me to come. She realized she should have when she saw the look on my face. She said she was tired of the mooching too, but was too much of a coward to say something, which only fueled their "we always do it this way" ammo. She then filled us in on what happened after we left. Turns out the other two separate bills left shortly after I did. Everyone ended up getting separate checks, which made the two mooch couples angry. They justified their mooching the same way the chick in the text did. They have expenses we don't, and would it kill us to help them have a little joy? Yeah, not happening, buddy. The four of us are going to start having a new group dinner at a different restaurant.
Yeah.
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 That's so stupid. And every time you go past that restaurant, you're just gonna think, "Oh yeah, remember the mooch couples that we used to go to dinner with?"
That's just that's such an entitled way of thinking, to be like, "Oh, my friends are gonna treat me every time we go out."
Yeah.
Like, I love treating my friends when I have, the means to, but it's different. Like when you're like, "Oh yeah, I got you." We're like, "You're my homie, I got you," and then to be expected to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it gets weird.
Also, not to call out the people that are like, "Oh no, I can't." No. Because I still like that in some ways. Used to be very much like that. Like I said, still kind of am. But if I offer to buy you lunch, if I offer to buy you food, I'm gonna do it.
Duh.
So don't say no.
Okay, I won't even lie. I am definitely that person to say no and to refuse and fight you on it. Just because
it has taken a lot for me to just get to a point now where I'm just like, just shut up and just accept it.
I've been starting to be like, "Are you sure?" And then they're like, "Yes, I got you." And I'm like, "Okay." Like,
think about it this way: a normal, good person, one of your friends, whatever, they wouldn't say it or offer it
if they didn't mean it. Yeah. I'm trying to
So I try to
that.
remember that.
Yeah.
I try to remember that every time somebody offers me something, or if Morgan wants to pay for breakfast or for my coffee or something like that, and before I go no, it's all, I got this. I will just think in my head, they wouldn't have offered if they didn't want to do it. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. But no, fuck the mooch couples.
Yeah, no, fuck the mooch couples. They were definitely the weenies here, not you, OP.
I hope OP and the current updated group are
happy.
Are happy. Yeah, I hope that they upgraded from the Olive Garden to a Buca de Beppo.
Yeah. Alrighty, so my next story is by user Secret Whisper. The title is, "Am I the weenie for not doing the homework my husband's therapist assigned to me?" All right, my husband and I have been together for over a decade. During this time, he's been in therapy on and off. He had a hard time finding a therapist that was right for him. A few of his therapists early on encouraged him to just medicate with no regular sessions, and one pushed religion on him.
Oof.
Yikes. Neither of these worked. What he needed was someone to meet with him semi-regularly, not push their religious beef. Hey! Not push their religious beliefs on him, and instead...
Religious beef?
Stupid.
What are the kosher hot dogs?
Oh my God.
What are they? What's the brand?
I could not tell you.
I almost said Fisher Price, but no, they make kids' toys.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Hebrew National.
Hebrew National. I didn't even know that was or maybe I did, and I just, it's hard out here.
It is. They make good dogs. They make good dogs.
Make good dogs. And instead work with him to develop appropriate strategies / talk through issues. Holy shit. You just had a
really squiggled your way through that one, didn't you?
I said,
guys, this one is just oh my God. We're not doing this on purpose.
Holy
I don't know what's
shit.
happening today. It's one of those days.
Whenever he told me about one of these more questionable strategies, i.e. pushing just love Jesus, I said I thought that was inappropriate and he should find a better therapist and go without until then. There have been long stretches where he has gone without therapy because my husband isn't generally good at taking care of himself. That falls on me. I have to remind him to do things to keep him healthy / taken care of. Drink water, eat more than once a day. There are literally times I have had to tell him he needs to brush his teeth. He also gets anxious making any decisions on his own. I have to help him pick out new clothes, write emails to work colleagues or groups of friends. He can't make plans for us, I have to make them all. Or I should say, I have to help him make the plans so then he can say he made them. He's a good person. He loves me so much, but he is so dependent on me, it's draining. I have to spend an hour at least once a week talking him through whatever crisis he's having. Sometimes this crisis is over what new collectible to buy. A collectible for him that I do not have any interest in. I finally demanded that he look into therapists again. I told him I cannot be his therapist and he cannot depend on me this much. He needs to tart. Wow. He needs to tart. He needs to stop.
Just have a tart and shut the fuck up. God, just be happy.
He needs to start taking care of himself and get a therapist that will work with him to develop these skills. And he did, which is great. However, a month into therapy, he said his therapist has some homework for me. Homework for me. I was supposed to write out a list of all his great qualities, at least a page or two. Mind you, this is after years of carrying all of his emotional baggage, essentially mothering him, giving him credit for things I did so he could feel better about himself. And 1 year, I did, in fact, write out 100 things that I thought were great about him for a gift. I was so frustrated, I said no. I said therapy is his work, not mine. And I've spent too many years of our lives solving things for him. It wasn't fair to ask me to sit down and do this homework when the point of his therapy was for him to build his own skills without depending on me all the time. He was upset, but accepted it and said he understood. Well, just the other day, he told me that his therapist doesn't like me and thinks I should be thanking and showing him appreciation more. I told him I didn't care what his therapist thought. They are his therapist. This does have me thinking, though. Am I the weenie for not doing the homework his therapist assigned to me?
No, because that's bullshit.
That's weird as fuck. That's
Somebody
weird.
should check up on that therapist and verify their credentials. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not a therapist. I'm no mental health expert, but that just sounds fucked, man.
No,
That's
that,
not right.
that sounds weird. Like, your therapist is supposed to be as unbiased as possible and just focus on you and not really make other people do shit for the person, you know? Because I feel like that's kind of defeating the purpose of what he's going to therapy for.
Right. Which is for himself.
Yeah, and to work on himself and be able to, like, depend on himself more instead of other people. And I feel like this therapist might be another dud that he found and is kind of trying to put the blame on everybody else instead of making him take accountability.
I've heard stories of therapists that kind of tend to baby or also, I guess, quote unquote, mother, their patients or
Yeah, it's just kind of
in
like
some ways
enabling
enable
them. Yeah.
I wish more therapists, and I'm sure that there are plenty out there. I don't mean to sound ignorant,
Yeah. No, there's a lot of therapists that are genuine.
and will challenge you in your sessions.
Yeah.
And call you out on certain things. Also, if I could just quickly comment on this, the religious therapists, I've said before, I don't care what you practice or choose to believe in. You are well within your right to, and in many ways, I'm jealous that I don't have the capability anymore to believe or have believe in God or anything. And having a therapist push religion on their patients it should be illegal.
Yeah. I feel like that's just, kind of weird to kind of force religion onto someone when they're just asking for help. And granted,
Right.
for some people, religion does help you, and it's kind of like a safe haven, to believe in something bigger than us, and that there's something out there that gives them comfort. But that's not for everybody, and you can't really force that on people that don't agree with it, and especially in a medical field, that's weird.
I don't mean to harp on religion. It's just maybe I just see this stuff, and maybe it's the anger that I still carry from all the years of, believing in something and then kind of just having it ripped away from me, just from a combination of just being around the church and also growing up and meeting different people, having different life experiences, and also just kind of just changing out of the younger person that I was into, who I am today. I can't, part of me wishes I still had that, but not the person that I was sometimes. And just, I don't know, I get very jealous sometimes knowing that, because it does feel great to be part of something bigger than you, to feel that you are part of something bigger.
Yeah, and there's like a big sense of like community that comes with and and like belonging. And it kind of feels like, like you belong somewhere and you're a part of something so big and so meaningful. It's a lot.
I didn't mean to turn this into a therapy session, but like maybe like I just haven't felt that in a long time with anything. Yeah. And maybe a little part of me yearns for that.
Yeah. No, that's completely fair.
It's not going to be through the church.
No.
And I don't think it's cool that a therapist who should be helping you with your mental health should be
kind of forcing that on you. Yeah.
Like if you have a cross hanging up on your wall, or you have or you believe in God, or whatever religion you believe in, that's totally fine. But just please don't, try and treat my depression with just trust Jesus, just love Jesus, and you will be cured. And I have this tattoo right here, Philippians 4:13, and it's not a bad quote, to be quite honest with you. It's kind of cheesy. I remember one time my friend took a Sharpie and crossed out 13 and wrote 20.
What the fuck?
So it was Philippians 4:20, blaze it.
That's so fucking stupid. I love that.
I've been meaning to get this covered up. I'm saying this out loud now, just so in case there have been shots of me with this tattoo clearly visible, and there's times where I talk about how I'm not religious anymore. I wonder, there's probably someone sitting at their computer just like,
I beg to differ.
Ha.
But yeah, I don't think OP is the weenie. I think maybe you should find a therapist, because it kind of seems like everything has, not even kind of seems like, it definitely seems like everything has been kind of dumped on you, and you're kind of carrying the relationship, and that shouldn't be. It should be mostly equal. Like, there's going to be days where one needs to give more than the other, but that shouldn't be like a constant thing.
I just recently got connected with a new therapist because my last therapist fucking left me.
She broke up with you.
My therapist broke up with me. So after a while, I was just kind of like, I'll just take a little break for a little bit. I had been in it for a while, and I'm just like, let's take the training wheels off the bike.
Off the bike.
And I'm just like,
I need him again.
I need him again. So anyway, mental health is a journey, guys. Don't
facts.
Be kind to yourself.
Be kind. We hope y'all enjoyed that whole time that we just did with the weenies. If you have any thoughts on the stories, let us know.
If you want to read them for yourself, you can read them. They're down in the description below with the links and everything.
Yeah.
And Brianna, where can they find you if they want to follow you on social media?
Oh, any social media, you can find me at Certicate on literally everything.
If you want to follow me, you can follow me at the Dairy Boy on everything. And the show, follow us on TikTok and everything at the Daydream Arcade. And once again, you guys can get these episodes on Spotify and Apple Music. Please follow us, rate us.
Check it out.
For the love of God.
Check it out.
Look at it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next video.